Hello everyone and welcome to Lost Caverns of Ixalan. This time I think it's a fairly easy first pick. Spyglass Siren is such an efficient card that maybe in the beginning of the set I might have considered something like Join the Dead or Deadweight being like a better pick because these are good answers to a range of creatures. But you know, this is just the kind of card that can pull you very fast ahead, especially if you turn one this thing, and even if you don't, it's always going to be a decent top deck as well, because of the map token. Rare is of course not really great in limited, and it's an easy pick. Blue is also very deep color. There's also the Malamet Battlecliff, which I like a little bit here, but yep, I don't think it's a hard decision to pick the blue card in there. How about this pack though? Well, the rare is nice, but mostly just a mana fixing land that sometimes makes it a little bit easier to sacrifice your caves that, discover 4. It's not a pick I'm gonna make here, but I would always play this and I would pick this fairly highly. It's nice to have mana fixing lands because you can choose the color it produces, so this in your starting hand is gonna basically guarantee your colors, assuming you have some other lands there too. Anyway, it's not the pick here. I'm actually thinking between. But there are several decent options. You could take like the Torch or even the Pirate over it. The Black Removal is good. Axe Jaw is good. Bartolome is good. It's just not great with the first pick. They are very unlikely to be in the same deck. So I think I'm going to lean towards maybe the Black Deadweight. I think, but I'm taking the Deadweight here. It's such a mana efficient play. I just, when in doubt, take the cheaper card. Alright, well this pack has some good cards, but not for the colors I was picking. Well, actually that's not exactly true. The Cockwork Wrestler is a good card, but is it something I'm gonna pick over the options in here? There's no guarantee blue will be open. I'm not gonna take the Wrestle and then, stare at packs that have no playable blue cards at all. I do like the Saw Blades quite a bit, but I also think this is such a nice 2-drop that I'm almost leaning towards that. The Guidewing and Petrify are fine options. The Torch could be picked, but I would take the Yelling over the Torch. The Yelling goes very nicely with either of these 1-mana cards, of course. The Frog is the best green card and totally reasonable pick too if you want to draft green. I don't know if that's a good strategy in this set. Usually you want to have a better reason to go green, but yeah, I'll take the Yelling. Efficient beater. And okay, so it does seem like blue might be a little bit of a cut. The Waylaying Pirates is the only blue card in here. Rare is missing. Yeah, well, I don't know yet, but it seems like blue might be cut. Now, what is the pick here? I already saw one Bartolome. That's a really good card. Now, if black and white, as a combination is going to be open, Bartolome is so nice. Especially with stuff like the Mephitic Drought. My previous deck, if you have seen it, was like it was a black-white deck, but I didn't have the kind of good synergy, but now I'm offered those things. But I could just take a Visage of Dread. I have a Deadweight, I could still be blue, black, red. Maybe even white, black, and Visage isn't bad in that one either. I think I'll take these over the options. It's the most flexible pick. I'm still going to be kind of paying attention to the possibility of drafting black and white if they are gonna keep being open, but that may not be the case in this pack. While I do like the Gem Guard and I think the Hammer is fine to run in basically any deck, better in decks that has these cheap flyers, but there's a Lodestone Needle in here. That's a really good one. I could be blue-black here. Yeah, I think the Needle just it's a 2-mana stall a creature quite a bit because it has flash. You can use it on their turn and they skip 2 untaps, and then you can have this exploding machine when you craft it. It's really good. I'm gonna take that. Let's keep the dream open that I might actually be able to draft blue. And this pack shows that, yeah, it's not impossible because there's a Clockwork Wrestler here. Totally reasonable pick. The red has dried up. The yelling will be most likely ignored in this draft. There's nothing good from black. The Inquisitor is like a not great. I think the best cards are the, to consider picking are the Wrestler and maybe the Gem Guard. This is of course good in a cave deck, but I have failed to draft good cave decks. It's gonna be a very difficult archetype to draft probably because the caves go quite early in any kind of decks. Anyway, the Wrestler is the easy pick here. Let's just move on here. Okay. Well, this pack isn't that great for my picks in here. I could take the Nova, I could even take a Didact Echo. Sunbird Standard is... Well, I can play this if I plan to splash for something, and you could pick this in case you get something to splash. The 5-drops aren't that good, but... Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly excited about either of those. I'll take the Sunbird Standard just in case I get something to splash. I don't think I'm gonna take a green card here. Yeah. And here. Well, there's some white here. I might get those black-white cards, but I mean, the Bartholomews, but I think here I'll just take a Fanatical Offering. Actually quite nice with the Visage of Dread. When you don't have time to go get the 6-mana craft, you can even sack that thing for the Offering. The Fortitude is not as good as the Offering here, I would say. And yeah, the Eclipse can be a very good sideboard card. If I'm playing if I'm drafting black here, this is a great option to have in the sideboard. So let's take that, quite easy pick. And I get like a couple of blue options. The Reminiscence gets you more cards, but of course it's much more expensive. And this thing helps with the crafting stuff and is just more flexible early. And of course in blue-black you might be really interested in descending, and this makes it easier. Clockwork Wrestler still here. Also Guidewing and the Torch and the Ray of Ruin is not exactly that bad. I don't even have anything that costs more than 2. Look at this cheap stuff here. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to even pick the Ray of Ruin. I think I'll still take the Wrestler. It's just too efficient. Okay, Mephitic Draught is not exactly in blue-black, the kind of card you often play, but I have a Fanatical Offering. If I get some more ways to sack this, yeah, I could consider running it. Of course, I'm not gonna pick those white cards anyway, so this is a free pick. Alright, Deep Goblin Skulltaker is definitely a reasonable 3-drop out of air. I don't like to run this card at all, but I can have it as a sideboard option, but it goes straight to the sideboard for that reason. Alright, so I could take the Vents because I do have the one yelling, but it's definitely not the correct choice now. I should try to be blue-black here based on the fact that I have a decent-ish blue and black cards in here, and this pack has, decent options for that. I could take a Tithing Blade now over the second Deadweight because they are kind of a similar quality, but better in depending on. I mean, it's better to maybe have one of each than 2 of either of them. There's the Nautilus, which I'm not that interested in. Defossilize doesn't seem to be that great right now. I think I'm gonna switch it up. Take a Tithing Blade over the Deadweight number 2. Yeah, it's fine. Also, it's something to sacrifice for the Fanatical Offering. Okay, what do we have here? Inverted Iceberg. Another Deadweight still. Well, I do like the Iceberg now because I have a bunch of artifacts here. 7. That is a lot. I should take the Iceberg over the Deadweight number 2. Yeah, I'm taking it. Gishath. Okay, I could take that for redrafting purposes, but I'm quite confident that once I'm done with the drafts of this set, I will have enough mythics and packs to naturally fill the set. So I'm gonna count all the mythic rares, even the ones that I don't have as a playset, as 40 gems, and 40 gems is not worth picking over a card that's actually going to be good in the deck. And here I have a couple of options. If I was more into descending, maybe I would take the riddle, but I think I'll just take the good 2-drop, which can also help me descend if I want to get some counters on the Skull Taker, for instance. Yep. And Sage of Days is a card I would really like to have in the black and blue decks that have a lot of Descent 4, maybe Descent 8 even payoffs. I mean, yeah, kind of payoffs. So this is one way to easily make that happen. I have one instant, no sorceries here, so a lot of permanents to mill. But I first want to have the payoffs. I wouldn't play the Sage of Days if I don't have multiple cards that care about descending. And the Cave Worm is a good example of a card that cares about having a decent count. And so this is an easy pick now. And I hope I can get a few more of those Cave Worms. Because I could use, some 4-drops. I don't exactly have a any kind of a large number of expensive cards. Only one 3-drop, one 4-drop. Everything else is cheaper than that. Okay, quite a late upgrade here. Is this an Oaken Siren deck, or is it going to be like an Iceberg number 2 deck, or is it going to be the Mycoid? I think I prefer the Cave Worms as my 4-drops. Siren isn't maybe the best. I'm gonna just take the Iceberg. Something to do at 6 mana, so it doesn't sound too bad. Alright, Echo of Dusk is actually also a card I wouldn't mind running. And the draw this, by the way, it's currently not even played, because I'm not gonna play it if I have only like one fanatical offering for it. But the decision here is between, well, there are 5 cards I could see playing with these colors, but the Reminiscence and the Companion is not gonna be. I don't think I care about the Grasping Shadows here either. It's gonna be the Echo of Dusk or maybe the Riddle. I do like the Echo though as a 2-drop that can, become the bigger lifelinker in the end. Well, I suppose I'm still not taking the Mycoid here. I'll just take the Scout. I think this means I have enough 2-mana creatures, and now I can play something. Well, what? Inquisitor. Well, it's a possible card to play over. I mean, it's gonna be more likely than the second copy of Out of Air. So let's take it for now. The Restless Wind came back. Well, there's a Sage of Days, and I really don't like Hurl into History. I have tried to play this many times, and it's just very hard to make the opponent play into your 5 open mana. I don't like this card at all. So I'm not gonna splash anything that's red, so I'll just take the Sage of Days in here and hope to get more of these Cave Worms. Look at this, I got the 40 gems back at a deadweight here, which I'm gonna take now. I'm not gonna take 40 gems over that. And here I can take the Fungal 42, it's the most playable card out of those, and the Boulder is like a sideboard thing, I would say. Scythe. Okay, so let's see what pack 3 gives me. I kind of want to have some, just like another frilled Cave Worm could be nice. Alright, there's a deadweight number 3. This is not a great pack. I mean, it would be if I was interested in a 3rd copy of a deadweight, but I really don't think I am. Now, it can be very good as a sideboard card. I don't necessarily want to main deck 3 deadweights, but I could see playing a 3rd one of them out of sideboard. And the Siren doesn't seem like a great option here. Now, do I care about this draw 4? I might. But I think I still prefer having the deadweight in my sideboard. The 3rd of them. Okay, how about here? I have, well, this is an easy pick because there's an Waterwind Scout. I was just checking that I have no caves for this thing, so yeah, Waterwind Scout, of course, the pick here over the Echo of Dusk. And Canonized in Blood. I just don't like the card at all. I think it's bad. It's just bad. It's not that easy to get good value out of this. And the 7 mana activation is, I think, 1 mana too expensive. It should be 6 mana. so that you would have a reasonable failsafe in just cracking this for 6 mana to get a 4/3 flyer. At 7 it's just, I don't like it. So here I'm thinking about, is it actually time to take the Mycoid or another Tithing Blade? I don't want to have too much removal, but I think I can get the Mycoid later on. I'll take a Tithing Blade. Okay, now, okay, multiple good options. I wouldn't even mind Ray of Ruin given my mana curve here, but Join the Dead is gonna be better because it's so much cheaper, but there's also the Stinging Cave Crawler is very nice, but I think the straight up removal is just going to be the pick here. This kind of deck can be more like a controlling deck that will win with the 6/6s from the Iceberg, for instance. Stupefaction. I have enough removal. I don't need this kind of a bad one. I'm not going to play 2 Widows Inquisitors. I don't care about the freebooter in this deck. I'm actually taking 20 gems because this pack has nothing I'm even interested in sideboarding. I don't need the Acolyte. So, yep, let's just take 20 gems. And here, okay, the Cave Worm. This is actually a card you could consider even splashing, but I don't plan to do that now when I have a Cave Worm for myself. I think I will have Descent 4 quite easily, given that I have multiple things at mill and deadweights go to graveyard, they are permanent, and this gives me a nice Descent boost. Alright. I would play a 3rd Cave Worm if I got the option to do that. Alright, so here okay, there's the Surveyor, which I don't even have a cave to fetch, so and nothing to ramp into, so I'm not taking the Surveyor, which I usually like to play. But now it's a decision between the Skulltaker and maybe even the Echo, because I think the Descent 4 will happen, and I could play a 5-drop in this deck. It draws me a card as an ETB. It's also a card I don't usually play. The Skulltaker would be good, but I will want to play the Echo when I have an actual deck that can, you know, make it work. Alright, this also has multiple options. Even the Hulk is good. I don't think I need another Sage of Days, but I will play the one I have. Marionette, Mycoid. I don't know if I need a 2-drop here exactly. I'm actually taking the Hulk here. Let's try to go with the Descent plan. It's something that you rarely get the chance to do. I think I have enough defensive plays that I don't need a sentry here. It mostly would be for defense. I'll take the Reminiscence. I could use some card draw here. Alright, I'm gonna take another one of these, so I have a 2 Eclipses. That's great against the kind of decks that, you know, get killed by it. Alright, here I like the Mycoid more than the 2nd copy of the Reminiscence or the Canonized in Blood, which I don't think is good at all. Ray of Ruin. I'm gonna probably, well, at least it's gonna be a card I can sideboard in. No need for Inquisitor. I'll take the Freebooter, which I will be cutting. Nova is not bad. And I got the Reminiscence number 2 after all. How many of these cards I'm gonna main deck? I'm not playing the Inquisitor or the 2nd copy of the Reminiscence in the main deck. I'm not sure about all the 5-drops yet, but let's see if there are some other easy cards. I don't think there really is. The Fortitude maybe is. The Freebooter, alright. But none of the other options are like that easy. This is going to be now 10 artifacts. How many of those are creatures? Well, only 2 creatures in fact. Because I have many cards that say craft with artifact. But I suppose the Tithing Blades, which have a craft with creature, but that doesn't even matter, but it's a good one to craft from the battlefield. I don't have to even make this go to my graveyard. Once I have cast this, the opponent has sacrificed something, and I can use on the battlefield Tithing Blades to craft the Icebergs or the Needle, which are the 3 cards I actually want to be able to craft, and they require an artifact to craft. Because the other options are to have the Wrestler in my graveyard, the Puzzle Door in my graveyard. I have some milling options though. With the Sage of Days I can just mill an artifact. I have the Waterlogged Hulk. Yeah, I don't know if I'm having quite enough cards that care about a descent count or descending, that this would be a reasonable play. Now you will pay 4 mana to craft with an island which is ideally in your graveyard to get a vehicle which is a 4/4 vigilance with crew 1. And at descent 8 it's gonna of course be unblockable. So that's not bad, but is that necessary? I mean, I could see this maybe as a sideboard options in a matchup where I might actually care about having a vehicle that's a 4/4, or I want to have a way to win in the late game with the vehicle that can't be blocked. It is one of my artifacts which I could use for crafting, but I do think the Hulk is going away now. Because I have so many cuts to make, and I think the Nover is my second one I'm gonna cut. I will play the cantripping thing. Also, just because I usually don't play this card, and I think in this deck it makes sense. It can quite often be a flyer. Now, I'm not even sure how good a straight up 5 mana 3/2 flyer that ETP is to draw a card. I mean, it should be good, but it's just sometimes in these days of modern limited, expensive but small creatures that don't have like death touch or anything else that helps them to battle with bigger creatures can be still quite awkward. Because let's say the opponent plays like a 5/4 trample, and then you have this 3/2 which can't really block it at all, and loses also the race there. So I'm not sure if that is good, even if it always got flying. But I want to try it. I have some amount of interaction here, so I can buy time so that my flyer that draws me a card can, just keep me ahead in the game and give me a way to win also. Do I care about the Blood Rage Mycoid here? Two instants, two sorceries. I don't want to play too many of them, but then again, well, I'm not going to cut the Join the Dead. I'm not. I mean, this is probably something I could play, but maybe it is a card that's better left for sideboard use, because you could, not have a time for a 4-mana sorcery that just draws you cards. In some matchups, you will need to apply stuff to the battlefield every turn. The Fanatical Offering I mostly like because it's quite nice to eat the Tithing Blades or the Visage of Dread. And of course, with the in addition to the usual use case of just responding to opponent's removal, or maybe like jump blocking with a 1/2 and then eating it to draw cards. And this will definitely be a 16 land deck. I don't have that many expensive cards, and the Inverted Icebergs and the Explorer, these will, and the Puzzle Door, all these will help me find land drops. So one more card. Yeah, I think the Puzzle Door is kind of necessary because of the Craft Witch artifact cards I have here. And the Fanatical Offering just seems to be too good to ignore here. And the Sage of Days with the double K Worm and Echo here. Yeah, I'm gonna have it as well. I could even see not playing more than one Deadweight in the main deck. I could see cutting the Ray of Ruin, but I want to have it in the main deck. It's gonna be good in any green deck, for instance, because they will have usually big creatures that might be hard to deal with otherwise. Although Tithing Blade, well, you can't really guarantee these things hitting like a 5/5s. Wrestlers are good, also needed as artifact creatures to have food for the artifact crafting stuff. The Mycoid might even be a card to cut. How many creatures? That's only 13 though, but the icebergs turn into creatures. Then again, the Wrestlers aren't really, they're like half a creature in terms of the, the 1/2 part of it isn't going to function as the kind of creature that adds to your pressure too much. It's most likely mostly a trick, but I still play 2 of these in this deck because of they give me craft fodder. Yeah, the Mycoid probably is the card to cut. 4 mana 4/3. Yeah, I just like these too much. I mean, I think the other option is Deadweight. Number 2. Alright, let's actually do that. With the Tithing Blades and the one Deadweight I already have. That's some ways to get rid of the early stuff. So I'm gonna cut a Deadweight here. Let's leave the Mycoid here to have like some number of creatures here still. Alright, and then I will add the lands. That's going to be easy 8/8 here, right? Okay. That's that. The icebergs function as ways to win in the long game, and I think I should keep parity with the early stuff I have going on, and I have some bigger impact plays for the later game. So it's not the greatest. I would have actually just wanted to have more payouts for descending, because blue and black is one of the color combinations that is really good at filling a graveyard, but this is what I'm gonna deal with. This is what I'm going to work with now. All right. I guess this is a 5-lander I can keep, because I have the turn 2. At least I get to see what's going on, and I have this defensive 4-drop. So I choose a creature or artifact. Yep. Marionette Echo. Yeah, this is an easy. Oh, they have a 2 another chance. It's really good against this hand I have now. They're gonna get the Echo back regardless. Well, too bad for me. Yeah, I didn't want to face another this kind of a deck. Alright, so let's first play the Iceberg. This was a good draw. I didn't want to mill my second K-Worm though. Now, am I going to kill the Death Toucher? I think I have to. And I suppose it wasn't the worst thing to mill a creature, because this thing crafts with 2 creatures. So they're gonna get at least... Alright. They're gonna get a lot of stuff back. So that's just a straight up kill spell, you know, the Chupacabra Echo now. That is really awkward. I guess if they return 2 creatures and they shoot, it's not exactly going to... Yeah, then they will have 4 permanent, so the K-Worm will survive. But it's just a matter of time. Okay, now I have 2 things that need an artifact to craft with. I guess there's this thing, but my Visage is actually useful creating a 5/4 here once this K-Worm dies. I suppose the 5/4 happens, and then when this dies, because you know the backside of this is not actually an artifact, but it's not like I'm gonna... It's not like I'm going to you know, craft this 5/4 menace creature from the battlefield, even if it was an artifact. But once it dies, it goes to the graveyard as a Visage of Dread, and then I can use it for crafting. Now the Echo was a good one. Of course, I'm going to just attack. Now I just have to accept that they will use their own Echo to kill the K-Worm most likely. They will get the mill. I know I could use the needle, but that makes no sense. I'll just get my cantrip here, and okay, Fanatical Offering would be nice if I had the mana for it, but if they are gonna mill a permanent card, which is extremely likely. Okay, well, no, even they get to kill both my guys. Alright, that was a great one for them. Yeah, it's really awkward, but I'm gonna get my 5/4 here. At least they milled a card I don't want to see. So, yeah, let's just make a Visage happen here. Get the mill 2. Now... Yeah, I will mill 2, because if there's an artifact, yeah, I can now just do the Iceberg without waiting for this thing to die. The very awkward thing is, of course, that once this dies, they can still bring it back with another chance. Now the Micro Tyrant. Oh, that... The fact they had two another chances, which is usually can be a little bit of an awkward card because it's, you know, slow. But against me, it's actually the perfect cheese. But oh well. I'm gonna of course attack, and I think I'll just mill 2 still. Okay, land and a 1-2. Now if they do double block, I think I will use the Join the Dead, but nope. They will get the Micro Tyrant into pretty annoying. They will get more 1-1s when they used another chance, but I suppose it's not a big deal. I can just craft with the Cogwork Wrestler here. I don't want to play a land because they might have the ETB Exile a card from your hand thing. On the other hand, I might need the land drops if I'm gonna draw some cards and all that, but I think it's just super annoying if they make me exile a card from my hand. I'd rather them not have it, because, you know, I see a skullcap snail here. This is exactly the card I was talking about. Oh, they have another echo. Alright, this is gonna be really difficult now. They have way too good stuff going on. And they still have another chance here. Oof. This is really bad. Let's see what happens when I attack with this thing, and I should actually untap the Titan. I think they're gonna double block. They might even triple block, but I mean, there's not much I can do, but I have to Join the Dead here. I have to do it. I don't think I can really have a good game here. I mean, because they just have too much going on, with the, especially with the Micro Tyrant. They're gonna mill 2, get back a Echo, which is again gonna kill my Titan here. They have the mana to do that with the land drop. Yeah, I don't think you can just beat an opponent who has... I mean, with this deck, they have the perfect matchup, because my deck is slow, but they have just better late game than I do. And they're gonna get... How many permanents they milled? 2. They're gonna get 2 more of these. I don't think the Lodestone Needle is gonna help him at all. Yeah, it's GG. It is GG. Oh man, I don't think I can win this match. I mean, the stuff they have is too good. There's nothing I can do about the echoes. There's no graveyard hate in my deck. I guess I can play the Hulk because the vehicle would be, you know, saved from the echo. I could see, you know, playing this card in here. Deadweight is like... They have multiple Tithing Blades, did they? No, they have multiple Skull Caps Nails. Deadweight again works against some of the stuff, but... Yeah, I think the Deadweight is like the least impactful thing. Anything else? Fungal Fortitude brings back some of my guy when they try to kill it. I could even see the Herald Scout thing being not that great. I'll cut one of them and actually have the Fortitude. It can, you know, bring back a more impactful card I have, but this is just it's not great at all. The Eclipse works against a bunch of their stuff though. I mean, everything they have currently on the battlefield gets exiled by it, because the Micro Tyrant of course will die when these things die too. Problem with that is that well, it doesn't exactly kill all my creatures. I just don't know if the game gets to the point when they have this kind of a battlefield presence. No, it does exile, so that makes there another chances not being able to bring those things back. But what would be my... Like, do I not... If I cut the Tithing Blades, I mean, that's really awkward because I want to have artifacts in here. Then have both Eclipses. Is this something I want to do? I'm almost wanting to have a Primordial Nova here too. Instead of the Mycoid, perhaps. Just some value. Alright, I'm gonna start with this. I will lose... I mean, I don't have time to do more changes, but I could even say I could see playing the 4-mana card draw spell. Just anything that gives me more value for the late game, because this matchup seems like a one where it's gonna be hard to win quickly, and they have a great stuff for later game, longer game. I can't keep this one lander. If I knew I'm gonna draw a land, maybe it would be worth the risk, but I can't do it now. It's very awkward because I saw two of the cards that make them, mill things from me. Not mill, I said mill because I was looking at this card, but Ixalan card from my hand. But I have a turn 2 Visage of Dread, so if they have the Skull Cap Snail, I'm gonna have to lose the for Swamp here. I'm gonna start using the Hulk here immediately. Might as well just do it right away. Okay, well there was one of the eclipses. So I need to get a Skull Cap Snail. I don't want to exile any of these things. Tithing Blade. Okay, well that's a slow hand they have. Let's just mill right away. It's a good combination with the Skull Taker. They are gonna... Also with the Cave Worm actually. Okay, that was a permanent, so I start getting counters. Now, are they gonna have a play before they have the Veteran here around? They were really counting on the Tithing Blade being their turn 2 play. Okay. Well, the Hulk is gonna... I mean, of course, if you get this on turn 1, it's quite good. Are they gonna go for the blind another chance? They don't have any creature here, so they hope to mill some. Well, they got 2 weeks. You milled 2 cards, they milled 2 creatures. That could have easily been like 1 land and 1 creature, or even 2 blanks there, but they got the 2 there. Fine, be that way. Marionette, which is gonna block this 2/5, unfortunately. Well, let's start with the iceberg. And then I have an artifact I can use for crafting, that's good. I keep milling here because I don't want to hit the Descent 8 here, of course. There's no point attacking with the Cave Worm because they do have the Annoying Death Toucher. That was a little bit annoying that they hit so well with the thing. I was really liking my chances otherwise. Okay, that would have been a really useful card to draw, but oh well. I get my 6/6 on the next turn, and there's the Visage of Dread waiting to happen as well. I have the creatures in here. No, actually I don't yet, but I will. And if I get to Descent 8 at some point, this will be unblockable. So I do think I have a good chance in here. They have currently 2 permanents, so if they have a Chupacabra Echo in their hand, it's not gonna be doing anything else than -2/-2. There's the Veteran. And so attacking with the Skull Taker means they lose both of their creatures if they go for the blocks. That's of course going to be worth it. And then I'm gonna craft the iceberg. Okay, well, they do get those things back too, because they have one of them at least, because they have the Coty Scavenger here. Anyway, I'm gonna continue milling because I want to hit Descent 8. That's good because lands is totally unnecessary. Let's get this thing because this, well, when it attacks, it taps the blocker. So this is 10 damage I have coming up. And if they have a Chupacabra Echo, it's only gonna be -4/-4, aka not enough to deal with the stuff I have here currently. I have here 2 creatures, so I can make my 5/4 thing as well. I think they're gonna get the Death Toucher, but I can tap it. Once you craft this thing, you can't mill anymore. So I have to be careful when I want to do that. jump or go to 3. I don't mind either of those options. And yeah, I know when I do the crafting here, that's of course going to mean that I'm further away from the Descent 8, but it's fine. Yep, let's get this thing going on. I have nothing that brings stuff from the graveyard, so it barely matters what I'm gonna choose here. And I will of course mill 2 here, because I want my Hulk to become a thing. Now I am at Descent 6. And all of these are lethal. The Iceberg Titan can tap a blocker. This thing has a menace, so they will have some difficulties here now. And if they start killing these things, I'm gonna get closer to Descent 8 and actually winning with this thing. This, as an attack trigger, also has mill 2. Okay, I don't think a Chupacabra Echo is going to be good enough. They can kill the Cave Worm or the Osseosaur. But I still have the Iceberg Titan here. Oh, that's their best play. What do they hit? Okay, they hit a Skullcap Snail, which couldn't really matter less because I have only a swamp here. And now they will lose. Because they don't have... I mean, one green mana isn't gonna do anything there. I can tap the Marionette and I have 3 attackers, one of which has menace and all are lethal, so... That's that. Okay. So black-green Descent versus... like a blue-black Descent, but I'm not that heavily into the Descent. I have some Descent stuff. But yeah, I think that with the scavengers and all that stuff, I should keep both the -2/-2 things in there. Sadly, they saw one of them. They maybe will play around it a little bit. It's also good against the Micro Tyrant because this, has size based on the ones they have on the battlefield. And of course, once they go away, then the -2/-2 will take care of the Micro Tyrant as well. They also have a Bitter Triumph here. The Clockwork Wrestlers are good against the Tithing Blades I saw from them. But yeah, I'm really thinking about just playing their Reminiscence here. Maybe even the Out of Air. But I'm at least one Reminiscence. What are the cards I least need in here? I do like the Sage of Days here, given what I have. I think I don't need the River Herald Scout here. The Fortitude. Wait a minute, did I play with the 41 card deck? Because I just cut a... that wasn't my intention, by the way. Didn't I cut a card? I cut a Scout now, and I put their Ancestral Reminiscence, but I'm still at 41 cards. What is this? Did I put another card in the deck accidentally, or did I actually play the previous game with 41 cards? Well, it's not the end of the world, but I suppose that happened. I'm gonna cut the Fortitude, and I'm thinking about having the Out of Air or the Reminiscence here. Is everything else in here stuff I want to be playing? I think there are, so maybe the Mycoid isn't so good. If I cut that and just... Let's play the counterspell. Fine, I'll play the counterspell. Done. 6 seconds time. Oh boy. Game 3 I will be on the draw, but I guess in this matchup being on the draw is not such a big deal. It's more about the late game value. Okay. I get the Siren start. This is a good hand, by the way. I can actually go with the Siren and the Scout start. I have an extra draw here to find the 3rd land. Of course I have the map token here. And that is gonna give me an easy Out of Air exiling. That's the most clumsy card in my hand. Alright, so that is a land. So I think I'll just go with the Iceberg right now. Okay, the Hulk turned out quite useful in the previous game. I don't really want to exile it if they have another snail, but they did not. But they had a blocker for my siren. Okay. I do think I'll just play the Waterwind Scout here. And then I can start, you know, maybe getting counters on the Skull Taker here. Grasping Shadows is annoying, but I guess I will... I wonder why they didn't attack with the snail there. Because it would be more awkward to trade with that. They milled another chance. I like to see that. Now, if I can mill a permanent with this thing, I get a counter on this guy right away. It's worth it. That is a permanent. A permanent I would have liked to draw, but oh well. Skull Taker here, and then they can attack with the snail. 1 death, that's lifelink damage, no big deal. They have now 1 permanent only, so Chupacabra Echo will kill the siren, but nothing else. Do I have artifacts here yet? No. You can, in a pinch, of course, use the iceberg. Crafting with a map token too, but I'm not there yet, even mana-wise, so I don't have to worry about it. I have a good curve here. The fact I got the Hulk and the Skull Taker is pretty nice. Okay, they don't want to waste the lifelink attack there, or they want to just have a blocker available. I mean, because they can double block the Skull Taker. I do think I should, especially because I do have the island in here, I'm going to want to see if this is gonna become a 4/4. It's not going to become a 4/4, but that means for the next turn I do have crafting with the iceberg, and if nothing else, let's first actually do this. Okay, that was not a thing that gives me doesn't. So I'm gonna block the offer the block for the Widows Inquisitor here. It's possible they don't even care about blocking here. Yeah, they don't. So that's kind of fine. Well, yeah, let's do this. I would like to have mana up for the offering, but then again, they have only 1 permanent. So it's not that likely that they're gonna use a good Chupacabra Echo here. Okay, that's fine. I have now a 4/5 in here. Not gonna block here. I mean, I don't think. I know I could. They have mana to only make it a 4/5. So it would be an actual trade. They go to 19, I go to 16, and I have a good attack here. I'm going to let it go for now. They might make it into a 4/4. Okay, they did not. They have a spell that in that case. Okay, that's not a problem anytime soon. Right. So I guess I have to use the map token because I didn't draw anything relevant. So I'm going to use the map token to craft the iceberg, unless this bill from the Hulk actually gives me an artifact in my graveyard, but I'll see. That's the best use for mana anyway. Alright, they go for the double blocks, which is fine. Getting closer to Descent 8 for the Hulk is gonna be good enough. Now let's mill, and if this is an artifact, I'm happy. It was not. So I'm going to still do this and just lose the map token here. And I'm at 6 out of 8 for the Hulk. They have 3 permanents. Now I'm gonna take the 3, no more life-linking attacks for them. They do get to draw extra cards now, but I have 10 damage here. If they can't kill my creatures, I think I'm in a decent shape here. They can actually sacrifice the Nova with the Inquisitor to get the Discover 3, but it's not exactly... I don't care about that potential 3 drops here. So they go to 8 now. Okay, so I'm gonna mill here for sure, but I actually might need to make the vehicle happen too. Oh, it's so sad, so sad. It was not a permanent, and I would have really loved to draw that thing. Oh. I have an island in here, don't I? I actually even don't, so I would have to craft with an island on the battlefield, which I can do, given the amount of mana I have. I guess it's time to craft it. I mean, that's the best mana use for me right now. Yeah. Not great, but... because they are gonna deal 8 to me. I have the Fanatical Offering if they have a removal spell though. I'm gonna go to 5, that's the problem. And of course this requires something to crew with, so I mean... well, I know these two also are lethal attack, so... but they're gonna have to... they're gonna be able to draw a card, take an attack with the Nova and then sacrifice with the Veto's Inquisitor to have an untap thing from the Discover 3. Now that might also be just a non-creature spell, of course. Yeah, I think... yeah, I got a bit unlucky, but you know, if my next draw is good, I'm still in a fine shape, but this can be very close. Now, if they're holding like 2 lands, then I'm in a pretty good shape, but no matter what, I'm gonna go here to 5. Even could be lower if they choose to use the Inquisitor to eat the Tithing Blade, for instance. That seems like the play they're gonna do. Yeah, I need to... can they have +4 here? It's unlikely that they can have a +4. I go to 4 now. Nothing I can do about that. They go for that thing immediately, so I can't tap that guy. Okay, dead weight is... it's not enough. It's still 8 damage. That's actually the worst thing they could have there. Now they have to have actual removal. I guess they might have a Chupacabra Echo there. Well, I have a Fanatical Offering for that. Okay, they do. So it was good enough for them. And I can now draw some good stuff. I need to draw some good stuff. I guess I only need a creature because then I can attack for 8 and tap this. Okay, it should be easy. Just a creature is enough. Yep. Creature is enough. I didn't need the unblock ability after all. Wow, this was a close one. But that exact is here. Wow. Well, I would say this was a matchup where sideboarding mattered. Not that I really... I mean, I guess the most impactful sideboard card was the Gondola. I milled mostly the other stuff. But... well, regardless, the Gondola was important. Okay, that's a totally reasonable hand. Not very aggressive, but... I don't want to show them with my stops that I have a wrestler up. There's no like hasted 1 toughness creature that is gonna cost 2 mana. There's a 3 mana one, but can't expect to be needing this now, yep. Okay, they have a Sage of Days, which they don't want to keep. Okay, let's see what the iceberg does to me. Milled land and drew a land. Well, I mean, I'm happy about milling the land, not so much about drawing it. I need something to do here. Well, that is something to do for sure, but let's see if... I'm gonna take 5 at least on the next turn. But I will know if I have a safe attack with the K-Worm. The Pirates will be annoying, the Sentry is annoying. I think the Pirate Hat is still the worst. If they don't draw a land... yeah, it's tough when you don't have an early board presence. But I'm going to choose here the hat. Yeah. The wrestler isn't really doing much. I'm actually gonna shift enter here just to not give them the tell that I have it in my hand. Because I'm not gonna use it just to prevent some damage. I could make this into a 1-2 and then block it, just effectively preventing 3 damage. But I don't think it's really necessary. I can do that in a later turn. So they didn't draw a land, did they? They're gonna go with the Lattice. So they didn't play the 3-3 and then Lattice on the next. Oh, they actually drew a land and they discarded it. Well, that's not a bad choice for them. Yeah, the icebergs are good, but not in multiples. The problem here is that I'm gonna take... Well, actually this is not an artifact, so this won't attack on the next turn. I'm only taking 5 here. And this will untap. Well, it won't untap anytime soon, but this is the best thing I have, so let's do it. Yeah, it's gonna have 1 stun counter on it. Yeah, this is really requiring me to draw something very, very good here. Sage of Days isn't the worst. I still don't think I can actually, you know, survive here, but we'll see. One of these goes to the top, or I can choose not to put any of these on the top. I get to keep at most one of them. And I think the Tithing Blade is a card I could draw here. I'm not playing the Iceberg, I need to play the Wrestler. So, yeah, I need a Tithing Blade, let's take it. And if they don't draw an artifact, then the Pirates can't attack, and I can... I mean, the Sentry Pirate can't attack. And then I can, you know, have a good block with the Wrestler here. My Sage of Days will survive here. Yeah, I will have to do it like this. That's what I have to do. The Cave Worm will be untapping. I'm at down to 3, and they have 2 lethal attackers. I have a Tithing Blade. Oh, what is this Huatli thing here? That makes things incredibly awkward. Yeah, game is over. It's a card worth splashing for sure. They can just sack the center here, and then they will use this and get the... Nah, just when I was about to actually... You know, I was stabilizing here with the board state I have here now. With the icebergs, you know, coming into play. None of that will happen now thanks to the Huatli. Well, let's see if I can get a kill spell on it. Do I have anything? Draw a card, nothing. Well, maybe they choose Huatli here. Oh man, so annoying. If this just... Well, I know they could have had like a flyer or something. It wasn't the only thing that gives them the victory here. Anyway, I don't have any attacks here. But this is gonna be Yeah, they're gonna get the Saga out of Huatli, and that's gonna be horrible, because they're gonna get 3/3s already. And then I don't have time to win before the chapter 4 happens, and this will be double striking Tramplers. So that's really horrible. I wonder if I'm supposed to... I kind of like this to gain me life, but I also just need the icebergs to start attacking here. So I think I'm gonna use the Tithing Blade here as a... I'm gonna craft with the Tithing Blade here. And then they're gonna get the mana producing, which is not going to matter too much. Next turn they get to search for a dino from the deck, which they easily can have because it's a red. Okay. They are red dinos, of course, and then they even have a Captain Storm here. Yeah, this game is pretty much over. I mean, when they have the Upraiser, I don't think I even have... They keep drawing the lands too. Well, let's attack and untap this thing so it can also block. How to do it? Don't even have 2 creatures on the graveyard to craft. I know I can use one from the graveyard and like the wrestler here, but don't think it even is worth it. Is it though? I can also get this thing just they have too many blockers though. Now this is a 5/4 menace. So I have 4 blockers. If they attack with everything, I actually lose. So I can't use the wrestler to craft anything. So I would have to use the wizards to craft the iceberg. I think I'll just do this. Problem is I'm just losing to the chapter 4 here. It's just not gonna work. This is... They have even this you know, this land cycler 6/7. Okay, game is over. I'm not gonna beat the chapter 4 here. They will have too much stuff. Alright. How good is the Eclipse against them? It's actually not that good. They have a lot of these 3 toughness creatures. Yeah. Counterspell on the Huatli. That's interesting actually. Deadweight. It's good enough against some of the stuff. But I don't think I need more. I do want to get rid of a Huatli if I can. I think the counterspell is the only thing that helps me there. Well, I mean, in addition to just having removal before it can activate its ability. What is the worst card in here? I guess I could not have like a fanatical offering. I didn't see so much a removal from them. So maybe if I cut the fanatical offering from this, it is good to eat the artifacts though. But regardless, I wanna have the counterspell here now. Yeah, and I just need to curve out with creatures, and I can do that. I have early drop creatures. Like this. Siren of their own, okay. I think I'm gonna just deadweight that thing. Needle will be good enough to have happen. I don't think I want to deadweight it yet though. I want them to use the... the map token on it. I know it might be a little bit awkward. Well, now I will deadweight that thing. Alright, alright. And I think it's time to Tiding Blade as well, although... Well, that is the most efficient use of mana. The problem is if the Oaken Siren make this into a 2-3, then it doesn't die to deadweight anymore. And then if they play another creature too, I can't do like deadweight on the Siren and Tithing Blade on this thing. But I would kind of be interested in just playing the Sage of Days here. Okay, I'm gonna be a little risky here. I can keep one of them at most. I do have the Ray of Ruin here, and the Iceberg can be used to, you know, craft the needle into the exploring machine. So I'm actually going to keep the swamp and then not care about the 6-drop thing, kind of 6-drop thing. Now I just hope that they don't play a creature and or that they, you know, yeah, that's the problem. Is this a land? It's not a land. Now, this is gonna be awkward if they are gonna play a creature. If they're not, then it's fine. Okay, it is fine. Good. So, especially because I knew I'm gonna draw the swamp, which was important for this plan. Kill this thing. Tithing Blade. That thing. And now I can deal 5 here and have the needle here ready to craft it. That can trade, I think, just fine. I mean, I could exile it, but I could just tap it down and craft the needle, although... And then exile the next thing they have. Let's do it. And now, if they don't have an upgrade, I might even threaten like winning with the Sepulture here. They have an Upraiser into what? Into the 1-2. They immediately conceded when they saw the wrestler there. Now, I wonder why. I know it's annoying for the opponent to have an active needle and a flyer they can apply it, but they had a couple of turns there. Well, they chose not to use those couple of turns for any purpose. I guess because the Tithing Blade was kind of already gonna pressure them once I do that. Because of course on the next turn, well, I don't know. Yeah, deadweight still doesn't seem too interesting, although now that I saw the Oaken Siren, it's slightly more important, maybe. So if I put another deadweight, I will be also on the draw now, so I want to, you know, be able to kill their things. There are also some 3-2s I can kill with 1 mana. Now the thing is that I like all the cards in here. I like them quite a bit. Maybe the Ray of Ruin is not the greatest here though. I think the deadweight might be more, you know, better than a 5 mana removal spell. They don't seem to have anything too expensive, so using 5 mana to exile a thing is not the greatest. I still don't think the Eclipse is quite good enough. No. This is how I'm gonna do it. Okay, that's a good hand. If they have the blue-red uncommon, I can kill it. Now I can play the Puzzle Drawer, turn 1 even, to use mana optimally. I have a good 3-drop here. They don't have blue mana unless... I mean, they have only mana for 1 blue mana spell. Okay, well that thing is also something that's supposed to die, so let's make it die. And I can use this. There's a pirate. So one of them goes to my hand, the other one in the graveyard. Well, I do like the cantripper actually. I have the 4 lands already in the hand, so it shouldn't be a big problem to get to there. Yeah, I'm gonna so put one of those into your hand. Okay, this goes to hand. The second one goes to graveyard. And I will be probably trading with the pirates in here. And this has a better chance to grow, so I think the flyer might be the... Because I can use either of these 3 drops to trade with the pirate or try trading, unless they have a pirate's hat. But I like to have the map token around, just in case. Well, most likely will be Mycoiding on the next turn, so I'm not gonna use the map token, but it's possible I still choose to go for some other spell and then have mana over for the map. But I'm gonna snap block in here. I'm not going to try to raise the pirate with the scout here. Given what I have here, I actually do think I have a chance for the longer game, although they still have 5 cards in their hand too. This is very even now. Please no pirate hats. Oh, go leave. Fine. Do the unfair card. Right, well, I'm going to have to just trade with this thing. There's no other way. I hope they don't have a trick. Then they get to discover 3, something nice. Yeah, okay, if they are gonna make this into 6-5, it's gonna be annoying, but let's see if that happens or not. It does. They have the pirates with an artifact on the... Okay, this is actually horrible. This is actually horrible. Okay, so they cannot... Yeah, so the cliff is just... That's a pretty unfair card. Alright, so I have now options. But I'm mostly dying here, of course. That's the kind of bad thing. The Echo does fly, so I can block the Siren with it. Although, I mean, they have the 6-5. The fact they were able to make this into a 6-5 with the map is such a huge difference. Imagine them just drawing a land, and me having a good block here. I wouldn't be at 9 life, for instance. This would be dead, and they would have something with Discover 3. But alas. And now they have the tapping effect, because, you know, this is an artifact, it will work. I think I have lost the game now, thanks to them having this sequence of plays. They even discarded the Siren, so the stuff in their hand isn't even that bad, because the Siren would be a fine play for them. Okay. If I use this, I can only play like... I don't think it's worth it, but I should just play the 5 mana thing, draws in something good. And then, you know, take 6 here, because they're gonna tap the Mycoid. I can block the Siren at least. I go to 3. They do have the Captivating Cave though, but it's only +2 counters, so I can still... No, okay, they chose to... I mean, that also makes sense, because I can't block the 6-5, so... Yeah, that also makes sense. Well, the Siren will be sacked. This says I have to do this, there's no way. And then they're gonna sack the Siren probably, unless they're gonna go for a win in the air with the Captivating Cave. And then I can do this. Okay, what I can do, I can play the Scout. I'm gonna do this. Maybe this gets a counter here. That's unfair because, you know, they get a counter, so I was supposed to get a counter too. So now I have to go for a jump block. Yeah, let's keep it, but it's not gonna work. I have to jump block the 6-5 with the 2-3 and then trade with the Waylying Pirates, although they can use the Captivating Cave so that I have to jump block them both. Okay, so the Cliff officially won the game. Especially because the map token gave it a counter, because I had the 4 power creature to trade with it. They might even have something better, but if they go for the cave into the pirates, I'm just gonna go for double jumps in here. Because yeah, even if I make it into a 1, well, I suppose I can jump with the wrestler, but yeah, I can do that. And then kill the... Yeah, okay, and I have a Tithing Blade here waiting. Well, it's official now, I have a chance to win. Are they thinking about the attack? I mean, why wouldn't they attack with both? Or am I... Okay, they are not. Interesting. They didn't even attack with both. Well, I mean, that's good for me. I can now do the double block and lose only 1. And I don't have to jump the 5-5. They might have their own... I mean, in that case, they would have always attacked with that. Anyway, that happens. What are they gonna discover into? Not a card I'm happy to see. But I guess they're gonna sack it anyway, because why would they keep the 2-2? Yeah, let's just make them sack it. Okay, well now I'm gonna Tithing Blade start, you know, draining. Only 20 turns left to win with the drains. Okay, so if I attack with the flyer, I have to jump block. So I'm gonna go for a double block and hope it's not gonna be miserable. I mean, I just have to go for it. I mean, I don't have enough jump blocks to keep jump blocking, so... Okay, that was fine. Siren and Sage of Days. Okay, they get to get the best card out of their top 3, or if all of them are bad, they can choose to mill every one of them. So let's see if they mill 2 or 3. They have 8 cards in the graveyard. Will they have 10 or 11? The Skulltaker can trade with the Sage of Days, but I really don't like that they have the selection of cards right now. I think I do need to draw more relevant things. That said, if I draw just a land, at least I can, you know, both play the Skulltaker and get another Sepulcher out. So they milled 2 cards. Okay, understandably the Scout and Island wasn't the greatest. Alright, well, I have not much to do here other than this and this. I would have preferred a land, I mean a non-land thing, but at least I can do this, and now all I need to do is survive. Can I survive? I get 2 life per turn now. But this is the best card out of the 3 they had. There's no, hopefully no Dino in here, so they don't have a use for them. Lattice right now. But okay, now they do. They can make this into a 5. It's a 5, so 6-7, so they can make it into a 6-4. Not on this turn. No, yes they can, because the Siren can tap for mana. Alright. I have like 2 draw steps to find a thing, because I can jump this once. Okay, that's gonna give me more jumps. Yeah, that's not good. Okay then. I mean, I might as well keep it in my hand, because I don't think I have anything that... They know about it, but still, you know, I might have some looting or something, or I might... I don't think, but there's no reason to have this on the battlefield. I don't think there's any card draw in my deck that I can suddenly draw. That makes me want to have all the lands on the battlefield. I actually should do this, because I have things that crafts with an artifact. So let's get the artifact to my graveyard. Okay, minecart. I go to 5. Okay, I need to hit a non-land here. If I hit a land, I think it's not gonna work. Oh, that's a shame because I know I have in my deck like the -5/-5. Imagine if I have that from here. I could actually, well, it doesn't matter. But drawing a lantern is almost a death sentence because I am so much behind here regardless. I go down to 2, I have to jump block the scout away. And on the next turn I will be on 4, and if they have a creature, which they don't though. Okay, well that's just whatever. I think there was a chance if I didn't hit this pocket of lands here. In the end, his 11 lands. So I had like what, 5 lands remaining and 12 spells. The Sepulchers could have actually done it, you know, help me stabilize and also eat their life total away. It's a shame I drew those lands in back to back. Alright, I need a land, but in the meanwhile I have a couple of playables here. And there's the land. I'm a little bit tempted using the blade on the siren right away, but it's just better use of mana to play my thing, because they might have like a 4-drop artifact or, you know, 4 mana plays, one of which is an artifact. Thanks to the siren they can accelerate it out. There's a sunscribe for which they did not. Okay, yeah, they had it, like I said. That said, the tithing blade is going to be good enough against any of that. I'm just wondering if I'm even supposed to attack. But let's first see what they are gonna do. And then decide about the map token. I do think I should just use the offering on the tithing blade, so let's do this. Let's raise a bit. I don't think they're gonna use, you know, the activation on the Nautilus. If they are, they're using a bunch of mana, but they can use the siren to do it. Regardless, let them do it if they want to. Okay, 2 damage, no big deal. And another siren adding mana thing. Okay, yeah, the sirens are really just mana creatures for them. Alright, let's cut the blade here. Well, they didn't draw any lands, but it's not so bad. Let's use the wizards. I need to know what they have in there just to plan a little bit better. Toad, trap, pirates. Horrible stuff for me. I guess the Tinker's Toad is the least impactful one. The pirates, they need an actual land for that. Sirens won't help there. Yeah, the problem with the Soulblades is that they will eventually also get a vehicle out of it. So I'm gonna make them discard that. Now, could just have my Echo of Dusk. I really am tempted to use these to get my land drops too. So the plan would be in that case to have the Clockwork Wrestler up if I don't hit a land. I don't think I want to quite do it, because this has a 2/2 is enough to deal with the sirens. So let's play the Dusk thing here. They don't have that big of a... they have a lot of creatures, but they are mostly 1 power, and I can always block the Nautilus so with the 2/2 so that they just bounce off, and of course if they use the ability then they would trade here. So given what I do have in my hand, And yes, of course they did draw the land there, but they were bound to draw land anyway. I'm gonna just block here because I don't want to give them any more scries. And I didn't even see how they scried because I was so focused on the discussion at hand. It's not really a discussion when I'm talking myself, but I guess you get the point. Alright, so this will block the pirates. And I have the wrestler here, which I can use for maybe something nice. It's a little bit of a tell when I don't use the you know, these things, but let's first see what this thing gives me. They have mana up for the Nautilus. Alright, so any of these I can choose one. Well, it's not gonna be the Ray of Ruin, of course, but the -2/-2 would be at least somewhat useful. I don't really know though. But if I keep the island, I guess I can use a map token and then... I think the dead weight is good though. I haven't joined the dead here, I have a lodestone needle. Do I need the land immediately? I don't, I'm gonna keep the dead weight. And I'm not gonna use the map now, because the 3/2 is good enough to kill the pirates there. I think they're gonna use the Nautilus now to pump it, but that's the reason I'm gonna do this actually right now. I can block the Nautilus with the 1/2 to prevent taking 4 here. And then my scout will be back online, blocking the sirens here. Toad is there. And dead weight on a siren, I believe. First though, might be time to use some of the map tokens, but maybe let's just see what I draw first. Okay, Tithing Blade. Wouldn't have been that great when against the 1/1s. And now what I can do, I have crafting for that up. Nautilus isn't a problem, I can block it with any ground guy. Do I want to use the needle immediately? I guess I could kill one of the sirens and start attacking with my 2/2 here. Let's do this. And then I can go to combat. Let's see if they used their mana for anything. They did not. So now I can even attack with the Sage of Days and the Scout. I will trade with the 2/1/1s here, that's no big deal. And then I use the needle here on the Nautilus. Because I do want to craft this on the next turn, unless I draw a land, in which case I will probably get the iceberg. Okay, this is not bad at all. Guidewing is acceptable, Sentry is whatever. Okay, so this is good too. I'm going to start with... This is gonna be 3 to use. Okay, if I want to have the Join the Dead up. I don't know if I do need to have it up. Yeah, I'm gonna craft it. Like this. And now I will keep exploring, and I think the best choice here is just to... What mana it uses? Swamp. Make the flyer a bigger one. Or draw a land. Well, let's try it again. I can take a Skull Taker. Do I want to have aggressive attacks? This will stay tapped for one more turn. They will attack for 2 in the air. I'm gonna be the aggressor here. I have the wrestler if they block with that one thing. Okay, that's good. Some wrestler value here. And now they're down to 10. And I have a lot of gas. Actually, I don't even need to be that, you know, aggressive with my stuff, because they are almost top decking now. They get some selection at least. This comes back online, but this gains them 3 life. But because I have the Visage of Dread and the Iceberg, I can, you know, use to craft them. So I will have more resources in the longer game. So maybe I should be, well, especially now with the Pirate Hat around. I'm not going to attack with a 3/3 maybe anymore. Yep. So the 1/4 I need to block. How do I want to use the mana? If I want to compass around, can't do. I can't do the Iceberg, but it maybe does not matter. I can do a bunch of different things. Let's like I'm gonna do it here like this. Okay, just a land. Well, I can still use the Iceberg or play these 2 things. I don't know if I need to join the dead right now. I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, another land. Well, no menace triggers. I mean, no descent triggers for me. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna attack with this and this. And I hope this is not like too aggressive, but I want them to, you know, kill one of them. Double block the wrestler, for example. Okay, that is also fine. Not gonna use the join the dead here, but now I get the Skull Taker with you know, an extra counter here, and I can still block the Nautilus with the wrestler, and I can block either of these flyers with the scout. They actually could have, you know, put the pirate hat on the Nautilus, but chose not to. So let's see what this does. Because then, of course, the wrestler isn't a good blocker. I would have blocked with the Goblin Skull Taker in that case. It would have used 2 mana to equip it and then 2 mana to do that thing. Okay. Maybe they realized a little bit too late, because I'm sure they would have wanted to loot that land away. I wonder why they played the land though. Anyway, let's... This thing has menace, but... who is going to get the... I'm gonna have a wrestler potentially get a counter, because then it's a good blocker on the Nautilus. Puzzle door is... I could merely try the way to give this thing, you know, a counter. But it also gives the... Well, I guess it's fine. I'm gonna get the counter on the Skull Taker. And then I'm going to do this, and then I'm gonna do this. I like this slightly more than the other one. The other one has menace, but this has the tap-untap ability, which is quite strong. And I don't want to attack. I don't want to give them... I mean, I could though. They would go to 6. But like I said, I have, you know, the Titan here. I have the Visage or the Dread Osiosaur. coming. All fine. How much? I have 20 minutes still. I have taken a bunch of time in this match, but I have still enough time to potentially play 2 more games. Okay, so now the Nautilus can... Okay, there wasn't like a super good attack. They could have made it a 6-3, but I could have double blocked with the Wrestler and the Skull Taker, and only one of them would have died. So now it's time to start actual attacks. With the Join the Dead, I can just kill the Nautilus. I think it's, at this point, the reasonable thing to do. But before anything like that happens, I'm actually going to... I'm going to give this thing potentially a counter. Let's mill it so the Deep Goblin Skull Taker takes another Menace trigger. I mean Descent trigger. Why do I say that all the time? Alright, so now I'm just gonna... This is -10, so... Let's kill this thing and attack with everything, and I can untap the Scout here. Yeah. What would have been their blocks even? I didn't even pay attention. They will have to take the Menace guy. They block the 6-6 to not die. Then they are still facing 11 damage, so they would have to block the 3-3 at the minimum and take 8. Okay, so they have to block this and this. They will be left with 1 creature. Yeah. Okay, blue-white. A lot of artifacts, but I have a blue-black deck, which means not really ways to deal with artifacts, but of course many of them are creatures, which I can deal with. How good is going to be the -2/-2 here? It's like it's okay. It's not greatest, but I'm gonna play like one of them, and I think I'm gonna play a Deadweight and that thing, and I'm not gonna play the Ray of Ruin here. And then anything else I want to cut. Tithing Blade doesn't seem too great against what I saw here. Yeah, I mean I could even see cutting both of them. Is that gonna make sense? Just play like a Deadweight after all. Or do what? Guess I could play one Tithing Blade. The artifact synergy is gonna matter a little bit here too. I don't want to cut too many artifacts here. So now I cut a Ray of Ruin and I cut a 1 Tithing Blade to put 1 Eclipse and one additional Deadweight in the deck. I think I will go to that game 2 with this setup here. Slow, but I would say it's keepable. It's not great, but also it has the lands I need. They did not have a 1-drop. Do they have a 1-2 here? They do have a 1-2. Okay, and I got the 2-drop. Which is gonna give me a K-Worm, which I'm going to keep based on the stuff I have here available. It's actually gonna not be too hard to get to Descent 4 here. Aspirant. So, and the Nautilus, so I can't really raise easily. And now my Deadweights are bad against the Siren. I was a little bit afraid about the Iron Paw Aspirant when I sideboarded in the additional Deadweight and the -2/-2 effect, because, you know, if they get the Aspirant on the Siren or the Pirate Hat, it's gonna be really, a little bit awkward. But anyway, let's do this, and then I can use the Puzzle Door. Puzzle Door in the end step. Play the K-Worm. I do need to find something to do with the Siren. Waylaying Pirates? Hopefully not. I don't want to take 4 damage here, because I still have yet to find an answer for the siren. Okay, easy block. And then one of these two will be mine. Well, needle will be mine. And now I'm at descent 4, and well, this is like the only thing I have right now. Yeah, they have the pirates too. So that's 3 extra damage I have to take now, and I don't even have a blocker for the next turn. Yeah, it's awkward to draw both of the icebergs. Okay, do they even have anything here to take away? No, just a land. Alright, so I'm not dead, but I am again on the back foot. In the previous game I was able to stabilize kind of early enough. Now not so much. I think I'm supposed to tap the siren, because while this deals more damage this turn, they can't attack with it on the next turn because of the 4-5 I have around. So this is gonna deal 4 damage over the course of 2 turns. He's only gonna deal me 3. Although I will go to 5 now. I think it's still worth doing. I can craft now into... I can make the iceberg into a 6-6, so... Of course, if they get like anything else, I think I have lost already. Yeah, 2 more attackers is going to be exactly enough. Because now I have... Actually not, I was miscounting, of course, because I have the iceberg here. I have 2 blockers. So... Well, the fact that this is a 2-5, it doesn't actually matter now. I have the 6-6 on the 3-3. And this 2-5 on the 2-2. If they attack with everything, I go to 2. But of course, they might just draw a piece of interaction to make me lose immediately, and that's that. Top decked the goods, but they had the scries there, so they were able to dig a little bit. Alright, well, I don't think anything changes here. I still like the extra dead weight and the 1 join the dead to really get them. Whether I want to sideboard something more, it's a different question, but I don't think I want to. Now this is fine. Oh, I guess the fanatical offering might be a little too slow here. Yeah, they have not a lot of removal after all. So if I count the offering... Also the tithing blade is just not very good when they have a Tinker's Toad. Or something like the aspirant, which is gonna give the counter to someone else, and then they sack this. So if I also cut the tithing blade, do I have enough artifacts for all the crafts? Not necessarily, but I guess I'm gonna leave with that. Another dead weight. It does seem quite important to have some cheap interaction here. Yeah, it would have been useful here too. It just might be a little bit too much. But if I do have the 3rd dead weight here, and then like the Nova or something, Fortitude, the card draw, the out of air. Now I don't think this is like a water-locked Hulk kind of a matchup. I won't be having time for that. Guess I could play 1 Tithing Blade still. It's so bad when they have a Tinker's Toad though. Don't like it. Maybe I'll just play a Nova here. Let's play the Nova. Okay. It's a 2 for 1 after all. And here we have Puzzle Door probably getting me a land. I do have a Malicious Eclipse here. So this is gonna... I can crack this on the next turn. So I will have 1 draw step and then 2 cards on top of my deck. And then if I get a land, I can play this, which is... Okay, I'm gonna keep this 1 lander. I don't like it. but because of the puzzle door I can do it. It's possible that the next 3 cards on top of my deck are not lands at all, but we'll see right now. Okay, that's good. I have a land here. And I have even got the other scout here, so this shouldn't be too bad. I know I could have used I'm gonna keep that. The dead weight on this thing, but I guess if they can equip and then I can use the wrestler here to double block. We'll see. It would be very good for me, but I really hope they don't have their own tricks. Okay, they actually tap out pre-combat. Okay, they want to use this and then scry. That's understandable. Otherwise the shuffle would make the scry bad. But you know, this is really risky for them now. They might not attack. They do know what is possibly coming here. They will miss out on the scry and 3 damage though, so it's kind of awkward for them. But totally understandable that they chose to not attack. So... thanks to the annoying artifact equipment, my Eclipse isn't that good here. Just do this. Well, I have 1 dead weight, I don't need another one. I wonder what's this gonna be. I mean, I don't actually care if they trade with one of the scouts. That's not gonna matter at all. Okay, so now the Eclipse is gonna be good if I just at some point could draw the swamp. I think I'm gonna attack here. Double block would be fine enough. Wouldn't be the greatest because I would only be trading with the 1/1. But let's play the scout. I know it dies to the Eclipse, but it's not going to matter that much. The scout isn't my main way to win. I have this big 6/6 coming at later stage and the cave worm. So I don't need the 2/2 flyer here that much. They do have the the bricks here which they can use to good effect at some point, but not much I can do about it. Alright, so they are going to... They played nothing there with 4 cards in their hand, so I wonder what that's gonna be, but I will attack regardless. Play my cave worm. Do they actually have a counter spell? Well, I'm not gonna play anything else than this, so hopefully they don't have a counter spell. Pop returning toad, alright. That's a good one, but I have the Eclipse, I just need the swamp. The Eclipse would be actually amazing. I can lose my scout. If I'm lucky, I can draw a swamp and then... yeah, this is now Eclipse time if I just can. They might move the hammer though on the siren. Well, I also need the swamp. So let's see if I can get one. Come on, I wouldn't. This would be so amazing if there was a land, but not the one I needed. Imagine if I can resolve this Eclipse on this board state. I guess it's not the worst, even if they use this kiln here. I can actually kill everything that has 1 toughness. The +1/+1 doesn't help them. So I should just do everything here to find the swamp. Mill and draw. I milled a swamp. Okay, but I drew another one. That's good. Now. Now I could attack the scout into the siren and then use the deadweight after that, because I know the scout is gonna die regardless. Let's do that. They might block. They might block now. Okay. Let's see what happens. Next turn can be an amazing one. I actually want them to have a land into the clay-fired bricks activation. They don't even need a land for that. They have a siren for that. They did have a land. Okay, sideboarding will be in a key role in this game. Because if I didn't, I might still lose, of course, but if I didn't have the eclipse here, I would just absolutely be wrecked. So I have some options. I can pre-combat eclipse, but since I don't have a third swamp, I can't kill this siren. And if I eclipse, this will be just a 2-power. No, it's better to attack with the scout. Hope they will go for the block. So now... I mean, how greedy am I gonna get? They can attack with all this stuff though. That's pretty horrible. Because I could, you know, get the iceberg here. But they have the hammer to just kill it anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna use this right now. It's a shame they still have the siren up, but I'm at 15. They need to deal with the 4-5 anyway. All the creatures they're gonna play are going to be, of course, +1/+1 thanks to the kiln. But this at least gives me a lot better chance in here than not having it. That's going to draw them. No, it's not gonna draw anything. Wait a minute, did it? What is the actual wording? No, they didn't have anything. I mean, it doesn't. It will draw a card, but it doesn't fly. That's the point. All right. Can't block that thing. So, yeah, they had nothing in the graveyard. That's funny because all the creatures just went to exile. All right. Well, they had a good way to refill there, but I can. Dead weight is quite bad here now, of course. Wizards of Dread. I have a limited amount of black mana here, so how do I want to use it? I can play the Deadweight and the Nover, for instance, or the Nover and the Wrestler. If I play the Wizards, I don't have actually a great... this might actually be just... They might have a land in the hand too, but this is not great. This is not so great. I think I'm going to have to make like a attack with both of them and try to make some more use of the Deadweight. I'm willing to lose Deadweight and the Scout here. I know I can use also the Wrestler here, but they take it. Understandable. And then what I can do is they of course can go to 9 life thanks to the Tinker's Toad. So I can use the Join the Dead, or I can use the Nover here. Yeah, this leaves me with no good options. Nover and Wrestler or Nover and Deadweight, that is the question. I think I actually prefer using the black spell because, and I use it on the Siren, because I need to use the black mana on the next turn, so I'd rather use 2 black mana, you know, on spells that require black mana. So the next turn I can use the Join the Dead and all kinds of things here. So this is only 7 damage, so if they deal with the Nova, it's not the end of the world. And of course it has Discover 3, but I fear that there are ways to deal with it, bouncing and pacifying it, or tapping it for good. Alright. So if this was in their hand, my Visage of Dread would have been quite good, but it just left me with not much else to do. A shame. Echo of Dusk is good now. Alright. Problem is I might need to Join the Dead here. I can take the Guide Wing, I have the Wrestler here. This thing has lifelink, which is good. I do think I need to check what's in their hand. It can be just a land, of course, but at least I have the information about it. Yep. So that's that. Now if I do attack with the Cave Worm, yeah, the problem is I'm dying in the air. So I do have to do this just to keep the pressure on. Maybe just jump block the Siren with the Siren. Actually, it wouldn't be the worst because that would be the other flyer they have, because they can enhance this deal with the Guide Wings, Explore, and the Deconstruction Hammer. So I'm happy that they are losing this guy now. And now I have this and the Cockwork Wrestler up. And now they do need to top deck. I know they had nothing in their hand. So please no great top decks like the Pirates, which wasn't necessarily a top deck, but could have been. If they can deal with the Echo of Dusk, I will lose, because the -2... Well, no, actually I won't lose, because I can jump block with the Wrestler too, but it would still be really awkward if they have like the Bounce Spell or another Waylying Pirates here. Now if they drew just a, you know, land or just a creature that doesn't have an ETB ability, I have a good block on the Didact Echo here. Don't know if I can... Should I prevent the damage? I can make this into a 5/4, and this is not an artifact on the backside, so they can't use the Deconstruction Hammer to kill it. I have my Gnover back, so, and they have no longer a Tinker's Toad to gain them life, so they have to make some blocks now. They can't just take the 4/5 and the 5/2. They have to block with one creature at least. And I do have to Join the Dead. So I'm just figuring out if I should use the -2, -0 right now. Probably not though. I can gain 3. If I go to 2, I will go back to 5. I'm gonna use the Join the Dead on the next turn anyway, so the Wrestler will be fine. So I'm gonna just kill the... I mean, it would be tempting to just kill the flyer, but I'd rather kill the Pirates in here. Because it can block the Echo of Dusk. I'm slightly... surprised they didn't move the hammer there. Like on the Didact Echo. But... guess it's fine. can they deal with the Echo of Dusk now? I guess I'm still not dying if they can. Because if I don't gain the life, I can make this into a 1-power attacker on the next turn. But the fact that they are thinking about blocking the Cave Worm is really not great. I guess they have to block one of the either the 5-power creature or the 4-power creature here. Okay, they're gonna let the discover happen, are they? Yeah, they had a Cosmic Blast in there. Well, that's super annoying, but I guess I still am in the game thanks to them. Yeah, that was a top deck. Well, let's see if I can top deck something to deal with the Guidewing. or, you know, discover into something. It's okay. I mean, that's a win on the next turn, that's right. So they need another top deck. I mean, if they have just a creature though, that's gonna be enough. Yeah, man, the Cosmic Blast on my lifelinker, that was nasty. But I have a 3-power, I guess. Yeah, if they have a creature, they have blockers enough. Yep. So did they? Okay, they didn't. So I win the game now. Wow. I guess it was because the Cosmic Blast was a very specific kind of an answer. Because if I just attacked into a creature, I would have gained a 3 life, and that would have been a huge difference in terms of their clock. Now I was gonna lose on their next attack, and all they needed is like any creature to block the Cave Worm, and then they can block the 2/3 and take 4 here, which is exactly not enough. But yeah, that was the end of the match. And it was 2 wins. I lost the 1 match against what? Was it the one with Huatli there? I don't remember anymore, but I like the deck despite it not being a very heavy focus on Descent. Like, let's say if I had like 2 of these Echo of Dusks. And what else there is? Well, there are some other payoffs, but I don't remember right now. But this deck did work well enough, and the Cogwork Wrestlers again showed how good they can be. I guess the highlight was that the sideboarded Eclipse basically made me win the final game in the last match. Right, well, that was that. I claimed the prize here, and these drafts will continue likely until the next set releases, so hopefully you won't be getting too bored of this set. I personally think this is quite fun, and I can play all the different color combinations to hopefully have a different kind of videos. And if I ever can draft a cave deck, I hope I can. I don't know what it requires to start going that direction, but I will try to do that if there's some kind of an opportunity for that. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.